afternoon. Where are we?
We're arriving at Steel Wheel Campground in Deadwood, South Dakota. Welcome aboard and check out what we did here in Deadwood.
Just an itty bitty bitty bought a couple on the road, driving an RV, pulling a toad. No place special to roam, not looking for a home. Won't you come along with us? We are RPlaceTravels.
On this map that we got here, everything in green is the Black Hills. And you can see by the map where Rapid City is. So we had to go into Rapid City to pick up Brianna from the airport.
That's our granddaughter.
Yep.
She's staying a week with us.
She flew in from North Carolina. And then if we wanted to do any major shopping, we'd have to go into Rapid City. So our first campsite was up here 6 miles south of Deadwood, called Steel Wheel Campground. So that's where we stayed first. We spent most of our time in Deadwood and the whole area. We spent 2 weeks up there in Deadwood at Steel Wheel.
We were up there 1 week without Brianna and 1 week with Brianna.
And then we went down to Keystone, 4 miles east of Keystone. We stayed at Bouquet Creek Campground. We explored that area down there. On our way into Deadwood, we saw all these billboards on the side of the road. I thought it was kind of cool. They're advertising a restaurant. It's called the Firehouse Brewing Company. And it's a restaurant in Rapid City. It was built in 1915. And it was a firehouse, and now it's been turned into a restaurant. But what I thought was cool is every single billboard, and there were several of them. I mean, we saw them for miles and miles before we got into Deadwood. Had an old fire truck.
A real fire truck, not a billboard fire truck.
They're antique fire trucks, and they're parked at each billboard. It's a little treat on the road. I've been looking forward to going to Deadwood because I have an interest in the Old West. I've been reading books since I've been in high school. You know, like Louis L'Amour books and Time Life, Old West, the whole series. I've read it. I've read a lot of stuff about Old West.
Tons of Western movies.
Yeah, And John Wayne, of course, is my favorite actor. All the characters of Deadwood, the famous characters of Deadwood, have played out over history. I've read all about who they are and what they did.
Oh, and the series, the TV series, Deadwood.
Yep, saw that. So, and of course, the genre of Western movies is my favorite genre.
Yeah.
So I've been looking forward to going to Deadwood. So it's my start for getting into the West, to actually see it, walk around the same places that people walked around 200 years ago. This is Steel Wheel Trading Post and Campground. And we were up there right next to that white Class C. Just a short little campsite. There are some permanent ones up there in the back. But this is it. They rent a lot of four-wheelers out.
It's a really nice campsite. It's got great showers, laundry room. People picked up the garbage every day. I liked that they had a store out front. There was always somebody there. It was really closer, I would say, to a resort. I mean, they didn't have a pool or anything like that, but they just really seemed to take care of that campground very much. I really enjoyed being there.
And the facilities, the bathrooms, were probably the best we've seen at a campsite so far. They were singles, bathroom, shower, rooms, single units.
They were big.
Very well put together. Very high quality bathrooms.
Some of the bathrooms we've been in are not high quality, but we're very happy when we get anything that's halfway normal and clean. This was just beyond what we were expecting.
Of all the campsites that we saw in the area, this was one of the better ones.
Right.
So we went downtown Deadwood.
Deadwood is actually more of a tourist place now than anything else. We started off at the Welcome Center, and they gave us all this literature. So we went through all of Deadwood. while we were there, they had a car show.
Yeah, we kind of got the best of both worlds. Because we happened, again, our timing was perfect. We happened to show up on a weekend that they're having an old car show.
Yeah, it was great. And
when they have an old car show here, they don't just have a few cars. I mean, there's just old cars everywhere.
Everywhere, yes. And they were all, most of all of them were just pristine. We took all the literature with us, and we went through Deadwood, and we had a great time. So we've got a granddaughter, so...
Yeah, she came to see us.
Yeah.
She flew in to spend a week with us, which was frosting on the cake.
Mm-hmm. She flew into Rapid City, and we went to pick her up, and she went with us to Deadwood, and she just had a great old time. She had it all planned out, what we were doing.
She had every day planned out, what we had planned that day.
She's marking them off. She couldn't wait. So we did all the stuff that she wanted to, and probably all the stuff you wanted to.
So they had a bandstand set up.
They had chairs everywhere. Empty chairs.
People must have came in early and just set their chairs up for the bandstand, which wasn't even going to play until that evening.
Right.
But they saved their spot. They put their chairs up and saved their spot. So the whole street was just filled
with empty chairs.
Empty chairs.
It was just funny. Deadwood is a tourist place, but it has such history, and you have to look for the history that's there. If you're there to just get yourself some t-shirts and stuff about Deadwood, it's the best place to go. But it is so historic.
This here spot is the location of the original Saloon number 10, where Wild Bill was famously shot by the assassin Jack McCall.
Yes.
Several months later, he ended up being hanged in Yankton, Dakota territory for the murder of Wild Bill. We know Yankton, we've been there, so it's interesting to see it all come together.
It's all roped off, and you have to pay to get in to the actual spot where they were actually playing cards.
The literal spot where he was shot, you can go and see it.
It was closed. It was all blocked off, though. We just didn't go back when it was open.
Yeah, and then they have the reenactment.
They have them scheduled out.
Of him getting shot.
I got to play in the one where they shot Wild Bill.
Yeah, so Nana was in that, so she got paid to be part of the...
They didn't pay me.
They paid her a high salary of being an actress.
Being an actor, yeah. So I got chosen. I raised my hand, I got chosen.
Yeah.
Welcome to Deadwood! Yeah, welcome to the world-famous Saloon number 10. I guess story time's over. I need 4 volunteers out of y'all. There's one right there. There's one right there. Bartender, hurry up. Get back there and get to work. Harry, this place is a mess. And by the time I haven't talked to these fellas, let them know what it's like to play cards here in Deadwood.
Alright, cheers, Harry! Alright, go ahead and y'all.
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Alright, good luck tonight, you know.
What do you mean you don't think so? Give me a drink of that whiskey right now.
Upon returning directly
All right.
from Wild Bill, suddenly Jack
Tell you
McCall,
what.
the Saloon St. Carl man, was held at bay by McCall. Jack snapped the trigger of his gun several times, failed to fire. He then ran out the door, out the street.
Yeah, so that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
She got to participate in that, so that was neat.
My granddaughter thought it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, you can get Nana to do anything. And then after we did that, then Bob sat down and looked through all the literature, and he just got so much information.
They have a pamphlet that you can pick up in Deadwood.
At the Welcome Center.
I didn't know about this, otherwise I would have done it. But it's called Historic Deadwood Walking Tour. And throughout the whole town of Deadwood, they have plaques, and they're called Historic Link. And you see, I have a couple of them I just happened to come across in the town. But what I found out later is there's 29 of these all throughout the town. And you can walk around and get a little history of the town and what went on in that spot. They even have one where Wild Bill tent was at. And they put a bust up there for him. So, I mean, this is something I wish we would have done. So if you get there, make sure you do that. Yeah, so we just walked around town a lot. We had to go back, and Brandon had to do some shopping.
Yeah, a couple days later, there were certain things that she was looking for the family to buy as souvenirs. She kind of made note in her head, and so we came back a couple days later, and we ended up hitting all the doors again. So, but we had a really good time. I think it is a must stop.
Definitely should be on your bucket list as some place to go.
But if you go, because it looks like such a touristy place, just make sure you look around and find all the little history about it, because it is all our history.
So that was our time in the town of Deadwood. Come on back next week for the second part as we continue to explore the whole Deadwood area.
So join us next week as we go to Mount Moriah Cemetery and dig up some gold. We'll see you next week.
Bye now.
Bye.